up our system. So I have a fleet of about 100, 120 VR headsets, mostly our Quest systems. We're prepping for a show this weekend, and then our major show is in 2 weeks at DreamHack Dallas, MomoCon, and Animation, and DreamCon Houston. So we've got quite a bit of shows coming up that we're prepping for. So yes, I'm Jeff Basladynski. I am considered to many the chopstick master. So I run an actual literal working shop where we handcraft a lot of our products. We go to events, mostly public events like Comic Cons, anime festivals, Japanese festivals all across the US. So we did 47 conventions throughout the US, from Hawaii to New York to Miami, Chicago, everywhere. And then from there, I've been passionate. I've been a VR gamer since the original Vive and a Rift in 2016. So when I bought my first headset, I was hooked. I just loved it. I brought my friends over, we played with it. And then when I started doing conventions professionally for my own company, I started bringing out, just for fun, 1 headset, 2 headsets, the next thing you know, 100 headsets, and then being able to communicate and collaborate with a lot of different VR companies from around the world. So what you see on the screen to my right is a little bit about VR Villa. So the tagline is "It takes a village," because it has collaborated with over 60 VR companies. I have worked with about 90 different basically events from around the world, including Anime New York City, Otakon, DreamHack, and so forth. So I've worked with all these events intimately to make sure that we can be able to present our VR community at any show that we go to, so we can maximize and really present a good job holistically to the public, and really have a good time. That's what all we're really here for. If you want to go to the next slide. So this, the way how we do it is we're all hands-on. There's no level of automation that we do when a consumer or the public comes to our shows. Everything is from the first point of order is that we are a VR guide in person to any single person that comes to our game room. We want to act as a friend to a friend, a gamer to a gamer. So when they have questions, they literally can talk to us and say, "Hey, I don't know what this VR is about." "Well, let me tell you, what kind of games you like to play, your mobile, your console, what have you done?" So we are really the first guides to any of the public to play a game or interact with the VR emerging tech. Even if it's something brand new with Pico 4s or even PC VR hardware, which we don't really bring out too much. It's a little more of a pain these days compared to standalone VR systems. But the content is what it's important, like the premium content from a lot of developers like Resolution Games or Shell. So we just kind of curate the list of the games that we can enable or activate within our VR gameplay spaces, and kind of help them along with getting content they like to do. They do a waiver form, so that allows us to recover legally and liability-wise, but also allows us to ask some questions for surveys to kind of understand a little better about who we are giving these headsets to go play, have fun. And ever since we've been doing this since 2018, I've asked the same question: is have you tried VR in your life? It doesn't matter if you tried Google Cardboard or anything newer, a modern VR system or interactive experience, even if it's at a VR arcade or at home. Ever since 2018, that number has been between about 22 to 36%. It's averaged about 30%. And interesting enough, with the scalability that we have, where we're doing 30, 40 shows in a year, we're providing service to 19, 20,000 people in that same year, that number hasn't changed. What we're seeing is that we're providing the service to a much larger, broader VR curious individuals who do not know where to go to find this tech. They don't know who to ask. There's no real free trials at different venues. And if you want to go to a VR arcade, you would have to pay like $60, $70 to have a limited experience, and very hyper-focused, good experiences, by the way. I love all the VR arcade applications out there, but doesn't really represent the broader scale that all of us know what the VR industry really has. And there's so much out there, and we want to be able to provide that to everybody, saying there's such a huge virtual world with all these great companies and all these great experiences. Now we work with 62 studios, so 62 VR studios from around the world. Most of them are based in Europe or Southeast Asia, so not just homegrown like Resolution Games games, shell games, Mighty Coconut, I mean everybody. And big guys to small mom and pops who, I mean everybody loves this and it's a great passion. We want to be excited about the game we present, play all the games, all of my staff and myself included. So every single game that we put out has been completely vetted by us, the fans, so we can present it to new fans and hopefully they realize how amazing this tech is and they can hopefully be inspired to go buy their own headset and go play or go out and learn and search more or provide them the avenues of saying, hey, here's what you can do. Or even on the tech side of the world, we have a lot of students from different collegiate avenues, especially with AWE, that students would come out and help us out at shows. And we kind of provide them, hey, this person is looking at merging to their own app or ways to do it. So we kind of help guide not just students, but the industry and then the public altogether. So that's what we call it Beerville. It's all as a conglomerate, as a way just to have fun. I basically operate it like a nonprofit, even though it's technically is a division underneath my work group company. But we get away with a lot, and we do a lot, and we have a lot of fun, and hopefully everybody is able to really come out and see our shows in person. Because as we all know, VR is an immersive tech experience. You have to experience it. You can't just tell people, oh, how wonderful it is. It's everything about putting a head in a headset and having a good time. Really seeing that aha moment, you know, hundreds of people, first time, having their eyes wide open. And unique thing about with us is we're first come, first serve model, and we don't hold back limitation. So when I do a show like Level Up Expo in Vegas about a week ago, where we brought 50, 60 headsets and I had 6,000 square feet of floor space on the floor where people come play everything from maybe a sit-down title like Puzzle Places or Silent Slayer to more active games like Space Pirate Trainer or Fruit Ninja. Good old titles that I still love and play, enjoy every day. To more of the more emerging tech with mixed reality, augmented reality like Spatial Ops or Last Stand. So all this great stuff. People in the public do not know, they don't understand, they don't know where to go find this information. So when they come to us, they were like, oh wow, this is really interesting. I was like, yes, then now go try it. You can experience this yourself, and once you find this game you like, go try another one. So, and people do come back. So we have a lot of people come back and play and play and play. And sometimes people will come back and play for 12 hours in our game room in that day. And that's what we would like to see. So we want to keep people excited. And then the last bit is that we do VR esports. So a lot of our shows, we do competitive with Blast On or Spatial Ops. We did our first walkabout mini golf tournament on a large scale at Vegas. So we had dozens and dozens of players that come and compete from around the world to come to play. And hopefully we'll do the same thing with our DreamHack activation in 2 weeks. And then really just getting out developers and seeing and meeting and really having a great time. That's what this community is all about. But if you'd like to have a little more information, you guys can go to vrvilla.org. That's our community. We do events all across the U.S. We haven't done international yet, so hopefully we'll be able to get to that point. But you guys just can come out and have a good time. So thank you for
Thank you, Jeff. And what strikes me so much too is that this really is a great middle pathway for bringing together the creators and the gamers and the prospective gamers, because I feel like so much of the VR hesitation often is the trying. So do you envision that the pop-ups and the events are going to be a permanent fixture in part of the VR culture and future as you look forward? Because it just seems like that is the thing, and we always say in XR, you know, all you need to do is put a headset on, but getting people to put that headset on is like, it's a long mile, right? So I love that you provide this avenue for people. Do you think that that's going to be something you're going to see a lot more of in the future?
Yeah, so one of our other strengths is that since I don't really care about the financial side of things at VR Villa, we always have a good time and we really enjoy. We are completely supported by the events themselves, so at least I don't have to keep coming out of my own pocket and my own business, but even though I'm glad what I'm able to do and accomplish for these years. There is a bit of a barrier for a lot of new players or people who are just getting into VR to try it out themselves. I mean, that's part of the whole experience with us is teaching and educating every single individual on how to operate a headset, how to open up an app, and how to play the game. So that's one of my biggest restrictions of what game content I can have on the show floor. It's actually how well knowledgeable my staff is for that event. So sometimes I might have more of my highly trained VR techs who know maybe half of our library where we can put 30, 40 games on the floor. Because we teach every single person how to play a game. We don't just, here's your headset, you go on the corner and you figure out yourself. It's more about, here's the controls, here's how to do this, here's how to go here, here's how you reload the weapon, or here's how you interact with the environment of this particular game. So people can have this nice one-on-one guided experience and they will straight to the action and have a good fun. Because when we have done other activations where we just basically hand headsets, people will get off right away. And they will have questions all the time. And when they ask questions, we actually have to run back over there, and our servicing time increases significantly. We have to walk more physically and do a lot more. So we find that if we just handhold a brand new customer or people who don't know the game and teach them, and if I can put someone in a headset, teach them the game and walk away in 60 seconds or less, that is the lowest barrier bar that I love. And if they'll play for 20 minutes, and I think our average play time holistically is about 28 minutes since we started doing it. So
That's impressive.
We've been hitting larger venues and larger activations. We're bringing way more headsets than we should. 100 headsets. We have so much available headsets and game content that we don't hit wait lists anymore. So when people come on, people are getting off. Even the systems get the next person.
Right.
So we have something available for anybody and everybody. And the other thing is the demographics. Because we're such large, family-friendly public events, we hit everybody, all the way from 10-year-old kids that we service, all the way to 80, 90-year-olds who really want to sit down and play cookout together with their kids.
That's great. That's great.
People who were 3 generations sit down and play cookout for an hour. So it's
Yeah.
great to have that level of connection.
Well, I'm looking forward to digging into that a little bit more. Jeff, thank you so much.